Hello everyone, welcome back to Farmstead. We have some more MLE matches coming up for you here. And just a beautiful day again in Farmstead. I am your host, E++. And we have Noah alongside with me. Noah, how are you doing today?
I'm well, how about yourself?
Doing very well. We have the Master League matchup of the Aviators and the Hurricanes coming up for you. On the Aviators side, we have Kramen and Soul. On the Hurricanes side, we have Squanchy and Privileged Pair playing. So, Noah, how about you tell me about some of these guys?
So Privileged Pair on the Hurricanes right now for this Master League match is number 1 in MVPR, number 1 in goals, number 1 in assists, and number 1 in shots, while Squanchy has the number 1 in saves. But over on the Aviators, Kramen has number 1 in demos, but neither do the Aviators currently playing have any other number 1 stats. So it'd be interesting to see how this match will play out.
Yeah, for the team stats, definitely the leaders for the Hurricanes are coming out here as we get this game kicked off here, and we will have to get a server reset here as Soul does score on the kickoff, unfortunately. But I mean, that does give us more time though to talk about these teams. I know Soul personally. He was a former Spartan. I believe this is his first with playing on the Aviators. Just got picked up by them to play for this match, and he's got the third highest MVPR in the league after playing 10 games on the Spartans. So
yeah,
very powerful person to pick up.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to be the person that is the one that everyone's going to look out for. So if Soul can pick up what the Aviators need for this match, they can definitely win this. But I still want to just see how well Soul can actually play with the Aviators, because I think that will make a really big difference in this match.
Yeah, obviously chemistry is everything here, as Privileged Pair and Squanchy have both played together before and have obviously found success. I mean, Hurricanes are 7-3 right now in their series, while Aviators are only 6-4. I mean, not only one series difference between them, but still that one series makes the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would be nice to see Soul kind of doing the passing plays in this scenario, as you want the most threatening player to be the one actually passing, because you want to make sure that you can do everything on the pitch, right? So if he can do that, then there's definitely that scoring opportunity going to open up.
Yeah, and we'll see as hopefully the teams will start joining up soon. We just got into the remade lobby, so they should be joining up soon here, as are joining up now. We've got Privileged Pair on the Hurricanes side, and we have, I believe it's Kramen on the other side. No, it is Soul on the other side. I misread that name as we kick it off here. 5 minutes on the clock in game one. Hurricanes versus the Aviators here, as the Hurricanes do win the kickoff, but Kramen does retrieve it in his own back end. As now Privileged Pair actually throws it center. Squanchy was almost there, but a little tip by the Aviators goaltender sends him on his way. Now Kramen's going to have a chance to throw it center here to Soul. Can't quite get it, as Soul is all the way back, playing the more defensive role in this first couple seconds, as Kramen does clear it off the backboard here. A stall there by Squanchy makes it a little awkward for Soul, but he's going to take his time doing the solo play. Can't quite get it there, as it does look like the Aviators are kind of just going back and forth at, like, okay, you go in, now you go in. Okay, Soul, now you go in. Kind of just back and forth here. You're going to see Soul going in again. Cannot get quite the pass, but it does go center to Kramen, and Kramen will take that pass from the enemy team and score it.
Yeah, and it just looks like the Squanchy was just trying to go way too fast. Just needs to take his time a little bit more. Ball bounces off of the ceiling, and it goes straight down for a 1-goal lead for the Hurricanes. Or sorry,
and that's a huge goal. That's definitely something in the mind of your opponents. Like, hey, great pass kind of deal. That definitely could get in the minds of the opponents, as I was mentioning here. But we'll see if it does, or if the Hurricanes do stay strong here, as Squanchy does throw it mid. It's the Privileged Pair. Privileged Pair takes a shot, but Squanchy saves his own shot. Oh, you hate to see it. That's another one. That's another blunder that will get in your head. And that's not something you want to start off with as the Hurricanes, as Soul does flick it up, does hit the crossbar, and Kramer can't quite finish it with a great save by Privileged Pair. But again, another opportunity that just gone away, as now Squanchy throws it back center again, and Privileged Pair does get demoed in net, and that could have been an opportunity for the Aviators to score, but Kramer's going to take this double touch and score instead.
Yeah, and so now the Aviators with a 2-goal lead, actually a really good double touch off of the backboard, just, you know, putting it up to himself and taking it very calmly, very steadily, as it just goes straight into the back of the net.
Yeah, just great start here by the Aviators, and I mean, it has come off the back of a couple Hurricanes mistakes here, but I mean, you do take those mistakes here, as Kramer had an opportunity to clear it, can't quite do it, as Squanchy does 50 him on it. Soul now is gonna go for it. Privileged Pair beats him to the ball. I'm not sure if Soul just misread that, or if he actually thought he had more time than he did. But now it looks like the Hurricanes are keeping it in the zone of the Aviators here, keeping the pressure on us. Squanchy does take the shot, but Soul actually tips it out, does get the shot on net. Can Privileged Pair get there? He cannot, and the Aviators get a 3-0 lead.
And I really like that play from Soul to actually just pinch it back to his teammate just going and bring it back to Soul, and Soul just getting a little tip out to the far side of the net, and for that 3-goal lead.
Yeah, and just amazing start. I mean, you can't dream of a much better start again for the Aviators. I mean, we still got time for the Hurricanes to come back here, but you have to think the morale is, I wouldn't say just shattered yet, but a team bump in the midfield is allowing Kramer to pass, and Soul's gonna shoot, not quite, but Kramer's gonna get another push. It's gonna go off the backboard. Waste time a little, waste some boost. Now throws it mid to Soul. Soul backs off a little, as Privileged Pair was there for the save. And now Privileged Pair throws it center of the Squanchy. Squanchy does take the shot. It's probably going to be off. It actually was on, and Kramer does get the save there, as Kramer does get actually demoed for that. So now it's Privileged Pair's turn. He's going to solo play this here. He almost gets it by Soul. Can't quite, as Squanchy has to go up for it. He also misses, and both Hurricanes players are on the offensive side here as the Aviators go on the counterattack. But with 1 minute 30 left, I think the Aviators are going to start playing a little more defensive, as they know they might have them in the bag.
Yeah, and I really think that the Hurricanes need to start thinking about the next game and just say, hey, we need to play a little bit more, you know, less aggressive or less fast, and just take our time on the defense to bring it out to each other and to make that passing play come out.
And speaking of passing plays, almost a great Aviator passing play there, as they kind of just dinged it between each other, hoping that the Hurricanes would mess up there, but they didn't. They kept their composure there and did manage to clear 57 seconds left on the clock here. And actually, a good bump there with Privileged Pair to keep the pressure up. Squanchy should be there for a shot. He does take the shot and just barely gets it off as Kramer puts it to the side. Now Privileged Pair goes again, but it is the Aviators' ball, as we have now 40 seconds left on the clock, and the Hurricanes really needed to score there if they wanted the chance. Instead, Soul punishes the missed position from Privileged Pair and throws it in.
Yeah, and Soul really just capitalizing on being a ones main in that scenario, just making sure that he has to stop his car in order to actually prevent that ball from going in, but fakes him out and actually just shoots anyways.
Yeah, well, just shoots anyways, like just the kind of the mind games here. But I say that Squanchy does get a goal here that doesn't, I would say, boost the morale. I mean, the game's kind of over here, but that does give you hope going in the next couple games here that, okay, we can score on these guys, we can get it there. Well, we got 27 seconds left on the clock. Again, it does look like an Aviators win, unless Privileged Pair can score this here. It's we got still time left on the clock. They just scored 2 goals back to back. Maybe we could see something.
Yeah, and it's actually really good play by the Hurricanes. Now they're just trying to be as fast as possible still, but making sure that they're getting an actual touch on the ball instead of just throwing it away. And that's just super good, especially with the 22 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah. And as the kickoff here goes, Kramer does take a shot. We almost got it in to just put the nail in the coffin, but that shot alone might have just secured it. As we get down to the final few seconds, Hurricanes have to score now if they want another chance at it. We hit 3-2-1, and it's not going to be enough as the Aviators will take this game on. Maybe we'll see another chance. No, we won't. The ball will touch the ground, and Aviators officially take game one.
Yeah, so if you're the Hurricanes, you gotta just think that at the very beginning of the match, you just gotta play very, very calmly and patiently. If we would take a look at the stats real quick, the Hurricanes started passing near the end because there was a couple kickoff goals. But the Aviators didn't really do too much passing. It was just more like open opportunities is what they got, and they took possession of that and scored every other time.
Yeah, just solo plays there, as I was mentioning at the beginning. Just kind of, okay, you go, do your thing. Okay, if they mess up, we score. And then, okay, I'm going to go do my thing now. The only assist came from Kramer for the Aviators. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes had both of their plays be assists. Now, granted, one of them was a kickoff goal. So I would say it was more of a privilege pair solo play kind of deal. But overall, a good ending for the Hurricanes. Hopefully they can use this momentum to get back in too.
Yeah, and it was very, very good by the Aviators to, punish those open nets. If the Hurricanes can cause those open nets to come out, it would make the match and just the overall ball possession in their favor. So if they can do that this game, it would just make them pop off.
Yeah. And we'll see here as we're going to start getting in the game two here. Players are on the field, 5 minutes on the clock. Game two starting right now with Kramer and Squanchy both going for the kickoff. It's actually a fake kickoff here. Hopefully it can turn into something. It can't quite, as it does hit the ceiling and immediately come down. And actually goes right in front of the net. A great save by Pair. Almost resulted in a goal from Seoul, but couldn't quite get out as a double commit on the Aviators defense, but Pair too far up to actually turn around and go for it, as Kramer takes the shot and scores in the top shelf.
Yeah, and this is really unfortunate from the Hurricanes. They needed to challenge that ball. They could not let that go any further without a challenge, and they did not challenge, and that allowed Kramer to get the free goal.
Yeah, Kramer, I wouldn't call it free. Squanchy definitely had to go up and save that, but it was a great shot by him to make sure it was a goal secured and not something that Squanchy just straight up missed. Here, so a little awkward in the corner, not quite sure what was going on there, but he does get it out of the zone. Privilege Pair does intercept it. Now it's a kind of 2-1 situation as Seoul does get back now, making a 2v2. Kramer going really fancy there with the flip reset and the air dribble, but couldn't quite make anything of it. As now Squanchy throws it back in the zone. He's going to throw it in the corner. The Privilege Pair who's chilling there. Kramer now has to clear it out of the zone. He does so, and Squanchy is about to receive this. Hopefully Kramer, he actually misses in the corner. Kramer's going to throw it mid, and Privilege Pair doesn't able to clear it out before Force can get to it, as now it's a Hurricanes counterattack, and a great fake by Kramer, but Seoul does get a touch on the ball before he gets demoed. As it looks like chaos in front of the Aviators net, as it does get out, but Seoul does have a clear, it does go off, and unfortunately not a goal for either the Aviators or the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and it just it's really good positioning by the Hurricanes going out of their end now, but it's just they need to focus on their net before they focus on touching the ball, and that's what the Aviators are doing, and that's why they're able to just go for a ball without any pressure.
Yeah, we'll see again here as this is I would say a lot less scoring game than what we saw. The Hurricanes definitely more composed here. Squanchy goes over for the double touch. He almost gets it as Seoul does get the goal line save. It was almost in from Squanchy. Oh, that would have been a play of the week right there. back on in, but we'll see if hopefully the Hurricanes can get another chance here with about 2 minutes left. I say that his Soul does throw it into the far corner away from Privileged Pair and gets him a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and it was like very unfortunate for Privileged Pair. Like could have went for that. Unfortunately it didn't, and just because of that it gave too much space, and that's why that 2-goal lead came out.
Yeah, as it does, Kramen does cheat up on this kickoff and almost scores off of it again, but cannot quite get it past the defender. As now Soul's going to take a shot. It is on, but Privileged Pair does save it. Now Kramen keeping the offensive pressure. The Aviator Squanchy misses in the corner again, and Kramen gets a free shot, but Soul, I'm not sure if that was a pass or if that was a goal steal from Soul. We'll have to see on the replay.
Yeah, I actually think that was not going in if Soul wasn't touching that. So it was a very good touch by Soul just to make sure that went in. And now the 3-goal lead for the Aviators.
Yeah, and again, Aviators dominant in this second game. And, I mean, if you're the Hurricanes, again, the mistakes are coming out to bite you. I believe that's the second time Squanch missed in the corner like that. One of them was a save, but that one resulted in the goal. And I'm not sure if it's just the corner reads are not going his way or what's happening here. But, I mean, we'll see. The Hurricanes have been better more towards the back half of the game. So we'll see if they can maybe come back here towards the end. We do have 1:40 left on the clock. But you know, Kramen's going to go up for it. Going to take his time with it, knowing that the Hurricanes have to come to him. As now Soul takes it. Well, this kind of passes to Squanchy. Kramen's going to take it over the net, gets it past one. Privileged Pair is back, should be able to receive this. But Soul almost beats him on it. Now Kramen taking it by himself, going up the wall here, going to try to center it. Soul is there to pass. Can't quite get it as Privileged Pair does boom it downfield. And Soul is there to retrieve it, but with 1:10 left, I don't know if it's enough here unless the Hurricanes score right now. They cannot get that one center. Squanchy's on the back foot now. Privileged Pair is going to go challenge it. Squanchy's got to go challenge this now. He can't quite get to it. As now we're just getting down to the final minute of play. And Hurricanes, you need the pressure, the ball. Go for it, go for it. And Squanchy does go for it, but now it's a double commit in the corner here. And Squanchy actually boom it down into the corner with a Privileged Pair demo, but it's not enough as Kramen was there waiting. And now final 30 seconds here. Aviators are just going to waste their time as much as possible. And Hurricanes just have to go. And actually an opportunity there, but Squanchy isn't there. Soul is back to retrieve it. Again, wasting the time as Squanchy does take the shot. It's not enough. And we get on the final 16 seconds. It's just not enough here. Aviators are most likely to take game 2 here and going to take one for the road as Kramen does score.
Yeah, and the Hurricanes actually played that fairly well, all score aside. They just need to have that ball possession inside the Aviators half. They need to be able to take those shots on net at a consistent rate and have them go in the back of the net.
As we get down to the final few seconds. And actually, Privileged Pair is going to get a kind of ceiling shot goal here off of the kickoff. Actually, just a wall shot goal. It wasn't quite the ceiling. But, I mean, still one for another goal for the road for the Hurricanes. I mean, it doesn't matter much as we get down to the final 1 second. The second the ball gets touched, it's going to end. Actually stays up for a little more and does touch the ground as the Aviators do take game 2 again.
Yeah, and so if the Hurricanes want like one thing to focus on for this next game, it's just holding the ball close to them. It seems like that they continue to keep throwing the ball away and, you know, not really holding on to it too much. So if they hold on to the ball and make sure that the ball is staying with them the whole time, it forces the Hurricanes to go after the ball and them, and it just allows that really good 50 that they can use to pass out to their teammate.
Yeah, and I mean, the shot totals are even right now for the most part. I mean, Aviators had 9 shots on net compared to the Hurricanes 8. It just seems that the Aviators are either taking their chances more, or are just getting those open net opportunities that we have been taught. We're just capitalizing on mistakes like missing in the corners and such.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like the Hurricanes have done very, I wouldn't say poorly, but like not too well. And that is just the clearing of the ball. Every single time that the ball is in their end, it seems like there's always either a screw up or they're just giving the ball away. But they want to keep on to that ball and they want to make sure that they can follow it up immediately after.
And hopefully the Hurricanes can come back here. A reminder, the Aviators are up 2-0 right now in this series. One more win and they have a series win, but we still play 5 games nonetheless. So, I mean, I don't want to call a vote yet, but we have to see as the Hurricanes do take the kickoff. And it's a kickoff goal for the Aviators. Crayman cheetah and Crayman scores.
Yeah, and that's why I always like cheat ups, especially in 2v2, because they can either pay off so well or, you know, it would just backfire. So if you can do it very well, it works in your favor, as it did for the Aviator, and now they have a 1-goal lead.
Yep, 1-goal lead for the Aviators. Once again, might go up more here depending on how this match goes up, and if the Hurricanes are able to fix any mistakes. As Squatchy does throw it center, Privileged Pair takes the shot, can't get it as it does get tipped over the bar. And the Aviators are now going to control this. Crayman goes for the demo. He might get another demo. He does get actually Privileged Pair out of the way, but Privileged Pair is able to save that just in time. As almost dangerous play there from the Aviators. They seem to be taking a more aggressive route now. Not sure if that's just the taunt them or if that's just the adjustment they want to make to get more goals on net here. Soul does throw a shot on net. Squatchy is there to retrieve it. Squatchy did dribble it upfield but couldn't quite get it past. As now Privilege is going to go solo play itself. He can't quite get it. Squatchy was not there. He thought he'd have been there. As Crayman misses in the corner, but the Hurricanes can't take advantage of it as nobody is there. So it does get it out. It does get intercepted by the Pair actually. And now it's Soul's turn to try to get it out of the zone. Does get it past the halfway line, but has no control of it as it's an easy hit out of the zone for Pair. But a miss there did have to force Squatchy to take that challenge. But he does throw it mid. Squatchy was there, but now Squatchy's going to take this and try to center a Privileged Pair. But I don't think Privileged Pair was actually there as Crayman does touch it in the corner. Crayman is demoed for it, and it's another demo here by Privileged Pair. Squatchy just needs to take the shot. He does, but gives Crayman way too much time to get back and reposition as the Aviators dodge another bullet here. And that's the kind of goal you just need to score.
Yeah, actually.
As Privileged Pair does actually get one on the board.
Yeah, and this is a really good play by Squatchy to just flick it over. And Privileged Pair actually gets a delayed flip, and that allowed for him to stall enough time for the ball to come to him, and he just scores it far post.
Yeah, and I mean the first time now in this series, the Hurricanes have been tied, except for when it spends 0-0 here, as Crayman actually goes for the flip reset, doesn't use the flip reset, or I'm not sure if he actually got one there, but it looked close there, but it doesn't matter because Soul is going to wait for Privileged Pair to kind of just mess up the ball. Actually, he got bumped, so that might have messed him up even more, but Soul takes the shot and scores.
Yeah, and that's just a really good capitalization to make sure that the ball came to him. There was no one able to get that ball, and now it's 1-goal lead for the Aviators. Yeah,
1 goal for the Aviators, and I mean that is second of the game, and now it's a 0-goal lead as Privileged Pair does take the shot and scores off of that one.
Yeah, and this is really good by the Hurricanes because the Hurricanes have been punished like that several times over. And now they're doing it back to the Aviators, and so they're starting to realize when they're actually able to go in for these balls, which is super crucial as there's 2.5 minutes left on the clock, and it's a tied game.
Yep, 2.5 minutes left on the clock, and this looks like a more I'd say, not one-sided affair, but better game for the Hurricanes, and this is definitely something you want to see in Game 3. I mean, just a game win here can set you up for the reverse sweep. As Squad, it's in front of the net. Can they get it in? Yes, they can, but it was very awkward from the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and Privileged Pair just was a little bit too close to the ball. It should not have been that close, but it works out. And now the Hurricanes actually have a 1-goal lead, which is, I think, the first time this series that they've had that lead.
Yeah, first time in the series for sure here. As we'll see Privileged Pair going up for the ceiling shot. Can he get it? No, he cannot, as Kramen does challenge him off of that attempted shot. But it seems like Privileged Pair is kind of just taking this into his own hands here, as Squanchy has no goals here. I say that as he does get a goal, and a great Doomsday dish from Squanchy to give him a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and I really like the communication from Privileged Pair, actually forcing the Aviator defender to rush that ball, making him miss the ball entirely, and allowed Squanchy to just do whatever he wanted on the backboard.
Yeah, just letting him do whatever he wanted. I mean, and it looks like the Hurricanes aren't making as many mistakes as they were, which I think is maybe the reason they are in this position, up in this game 3. Just like, this is the decider. If Aviators win this, they win the series. Of course, they could win either games 4 or 5 and still win the series. Because now Privileged Pair is going to go for it, tries to pass it over the Squatch. He can't quite get it here. As Kramen's going to try to throw it center. Soul was there, but Privileged Pair actually does clear it out. But Soul actually comes back and retrieves it. Kramen went for the challenge, and the Squanchy had the open net. I almost mixed up Squanchy and Golden Tornado.
Yeah, no, it's a very good play. As you can tell, the Hurricanes have been a lot more confident in each other, and you really want to continue to keep seeing this type of Hurricanes come out. And as it's a 3-goal lead now for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, definitely the turnaround they were looking for here. And it seems like the Aviators are now the ones making the mistakes, but at the same time, just a little overcommit there from the Aviators. I mean, they needed to score the goal, but just a little overcommit there did cost them that one, as Soul throws it in front of his net, and Pair takes the shot again. It's disaster now for the Aviators.
Yeah, and you gotta think that, oh goodness, the Hurricanes are just feeling themselves right now. Cannot wait to get into the next match and just continue the same, train of thought and the same pace.
Yeah, this definitely sets it up. I mean, if you're the Aviators, just take a breather here. I mean, you want the first 2. Okay, yes, you're not going to get the 5-0 this time, but definitely a solid game for the Hurricanes. I say that Kramen does take one in. And we have 24 seconds left. I don't think they can score 3 goals in that time, but all it takes is a couple kickoff goals and they'd be back in it.
Yeah, and you just gotta think that if this isn't, the goal that wins this game or that brings it into overtime, that this is just one for the road. They're just gonna try to get themselves organized for the next game, and just to see what do you think that they need to change in order to get this win.
Yeah, they definitely have to go back to the drum board, as obviously waiting for the Hurricanes' mistakes is not strategy anymore. As Kramen does take a shot on net, it is safe to watch. Soul takes a shot on net, hoping that Privileged Pair would just maybe miss it. But as the clock ticks down here, we will see the Hurricanes taking Game 3 and putting this series into a 2-1 for the Aviators.
Yeah, and so the Hurricanes really did a fantastic job this game, just coming at it, making sure that all the mistakes were capitalized. It looked like the first couple games in comparison, they were very, very scared to go in for a ball that they realized was a misplay by the Aviators. So it's very, very good for the Hurricanes to continue this train of thought and to continue this pace, and they can definitely win this entire thing if they keep it up.
I mean, they still have a long way to go, as obviously they got to win the next 2 games. And if you're the Aviators, okay, you lost this one game. Just just keep doing what you've been doing in the games 1 and 2. Just wait for the mistakes. Maybe they'll come back in game 4. If they don't come back in game 4, then you really got to go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, what's going to actually work this time.
Yeah, and you don't want to make the other team force a mistake, because then you're not really capitalizing on their mistake. You're kind of making it a problem for them. The way I like to see people play is making or them making a mistake and you capitalizing on it. You don't have to force them to do anything, and that allows both your teammates to be behind the ball and to go for it whenever they want.
Yeah, and definitely Aviators probably, I would say, not looking to force a whole lot here. I mean, obviously don't want to give the Hurricanes a bunch of space to start off this game 4, or else he might be in a reverse sweep kind of situation, as the Aviators do start this one off strong by throw into the Hurricane zone. Crayman now is going to take his time. He's going to go for the dribble, and he does get past Squanchy in goal to give the Aviators a lead to start this game.
Yeah, and it was really good by Crayman to just wait till Squanchy started using boost, and as soon as you see him start using boost, you know he can't really slow down too well, and it's just, you can flick it over him after that, and that what caused the Aviators to get this 1-goal lead.
Yep, and remember, the Aviators have started off strong almost, I would say, every single game, but it's how the Hurricanes have been reacting that has caused them to win that game 3. So I think caused them to win lose the games 1 and 2 here. As Squanchy does take a little just pot shot at net, can't quite get anything. As Soul's now going to go out playing Privileged Pair. He can't quite get it, as Privileged Pair does make a great save, and Squanchy has to hit it off to the side to alleviate any other danger. As Squanchy does actually miss on the wall there. Privileged Pair did push up, so he had the challenge immediately, or else it would have been going the opposite way for the Aviators. As now Privileged Pair actually had an open net, but Crayman does barely get a touch on it before Privileged Pair, and does get rid of that danger here. As now Squanchy's going to go for it, gets it over one, can't get the second touch to get it over the other one, and Privileged Pair's just going to go back here. As now Privileged Pair is center, he goes for the pass, can't quite get it, as Privileged Pair was just on the end of the net thinking he wouldn't get that touch, but actually, what a steal by Privileged Pair. Just, I don't think they thought he was going to turn around, and he did.
Yeah, and it was really good by Privileged Pair to just wait for that flip to come out. As soon as you flip, it takes about 2 seconds for you to land back on your wheels, so he capitalized on it fantastically, turns it around and puts it into the Aviators net.
And those are the type of goals you need, especially just going, okay, we're watching your every move. We're going to capitalize on those just slight mistouches that you're having. As now Privileged Pair is going to try to put mid. He cannot quite get it, as Soul does beat him to it. Squanchy now is going to take his chance to throw it mid. Soul again beats him to it, is denying the passes right now, but they cannot get an attacking opportunity going for the Aviators, as now they need to go back on defense here. Squanchy does throw it mid. Privileged Pair should be going up for this. Takes the shot. It's going to be off the backboard here. Crayman's going to clear it wide, but now Squanchy's going to have an opportunity to take a shot or pass. He chooses to pass it. Cannot quite to it, Privileged Pair. As now he's kind of awkward midfield. This does give the Aviators a chance to attack here, as Crayman does go for the demo. Squanchy dodges it. Not sure what happened with Privileged Pair, if he dodged it or not. It was off by camera. But now Crayman takes a shot. It's just barely off. Takes another shot and scores. And the little just catching the rebound off of that mistouch from Privileged Pair.
Yeah, and that's a really good shot by Crayman, and just making sure it goes and bangs off the crossbar back out to Soul, and Soul just bangs it to the far side and just goes straight in.
Yeah, and a great goal there to give the Aviators a lead again, and Crayman gets another goal for him and the Aviators team, as nobody on the Hurricane side actually went for it. That looked like a miscommunication.
Yeah, and it's just definitely a very unfortunate situation to be in. Those miscommunications really do just put a team on hold for a little bit, and that's just what caused that third goal for the Aviators.
And we'll see if the Aviators can keep this up now, as they've got the Hurricanes kind of on the back foot with those 2 goals back to back here, as a little double commit from the Hurricanes might get punished here. Soul takes the shot, it's on, and a great bump by Crayman, get Pear out of the way and just confirm that goal. I wasn't sure if Pear was even going to get to it, but still a great bump.
Yeah, that was fantastic by Crayman. Just making sure that the ball is just going to go in. He doesn't need to do anything more.
Doesn't need to do anything more, indeed, as Crayman just does what he wants, and it results in goals here. As now Privileged Pair is going to take it down the field. Hurricanes are in a bit of a hole right now, and they need to score, and they do, as Squanchy connects with the Privileged Pair to give Squanchy a goal, and the Hurricanes narrowing that down to 2.
Yeah, it is just a very, very fantastic pass by Privileged Pair. Just booming it straight off the corner, back out to Squanchy, and Squanchy just capitalizes.
And we'll see if the Hurricanes can keep this momentum going, as another pass to Squanchy. Squanchy does take the shot, but it's an easy save there for Crayman on the ground. Nothing much to it, as now Crayman does challenge. He's kind of on his own, and that's all he needs is just himself to score, as the Aviators get another one and put it up 3.
Yeah, very unfortunate by Squanchy. I think if Squanchy got that corner boost and went straight up afterwards, he would have been able to meet that ball on the wall. Just because he, forgot the boost or missed it accidentally, he was able to get scored on.
And because of that, now the Hurricanes are right back where they were just a minute ago. And as Crayman's going to take his time, knowing they just got to kill the clock again to secure this series win and secure Game 4. As Squanchy has to go. He cannot quite get it out of his zone. Soul keeps it in, but Privileged Pair does finally get it out. Going again, takes the shot, not quite there, as Crayman does it, able to clear it off. And we're just getting down here to the final minute. Now Soul's going to take it. He's going to pass Crayman. We're going to see a passing play as Pair does make a great save, but almost gets dunked by Soul. And he had to make a second save to not allow that goal to happen, as now Crayman's going to take it by himself. He's just going to let Pair throw it off to the side. And we got about 40 seconds left in this Game 4. It looks like this may be an Aviator series win unless the Hurricanes can score right now and get a couple kickoff goals. I say Soul's going for the double touch. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Just barely off here, as we are just nearing the final seconds. The clock's just kind of ticking down. Both teams, I think, have kind of accepted this as an Aviators win, as they're just kind of circling around the corner. Maybe the Aviators can get one more if this open net opportunity. They cannot, as Privileged Pair is able to throw it off to the side. Crayman demos him and says, just let me have the goal, please. But unfortunately not, as we're getting down to the last second, touches the ground. Aviators win Game 4 and officially secure the series, but we still have one more game to play.
Yeah, and if you're the Hurricanes, you just gotta think that, yeah, you might have lost the series, but you just gotta get this 5th game going. As you know, game differential is actually a big factor when teams are tied up, which I believe a couple of teams are actually tied for certain spots at the moment. So if they can get this game win, it might actually help them into playoffs.
Yeah, and every game matters, especially when you're fighting the playoffs. And Hurricanes are definitely one of those teams fighting for a playoff spot. So if they can get a win here and just get 3-2, they can take that and go, yep, that's fine. We'll take the 3-2. It happens. Can't them all. And
right.
If you're the Aviators, I mean, just again, good series win, make it 4-1.
Right, and there's 3 more weeks left of this season. So every single match matters, even right now. So you can still, make playoffs. You can still, get a wild card spot. So you always want to make sure that every single game is the game that you can possibly win.
And we'll see here if the Hurricanes can get this final Game 5 win, or if the Aviators can continue winning ways here as we get into Game 5. Players join the field. 5 minutes on the clock, and we're about to get this thing going, as Crayman and Squanchy are going to be taking the kickoff for this Game 5, the final game in this series. And it does go the Hurricanes' way, as both sides actually go for it. Privileged Pair's got an open net after beating Soul on the kickoff.
Yeah, and that's a really good hit by Privileged Pair. I believe he actually got 2 goals like that. One just went straight in, and the other one, as you saw, it just went straight off the backboard down to him. As the Hurricanes get a 1-goal lead, and this is really big for this match, B++.
Very big indeed here, but you say there's a little team play there. Soul almost got bumped into it by Kramen, and it almost resulted in a goal, but a great save there, but it doesn't matter anyways. Kramen's got an open net to shoot on, and it ties in with one.
Yeah, and that was a really good stop by Kramen just to make sure he doesn't get demoed. Still able to follow that ball up, and it just goes straight into the back of the net as this game is now tied.
Hopefully we see more of this back and forth action. I always love me some very close games. I would say these games haven't exactly been close. Normally been one-sided for one side. As I say that, Seoul gets another goal for the Aviators, and we aren't even 30 seconds into this match, and we got 3.
Yeah, it's just a really good show right now for the Aviators. Just making sure that as soon as the ball is dropping in front of the opponent's net, just sinking it straight in. And yeah, there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
And finally we hit that 30-second mark, and I mean 3 goals in 30 seconds. That is definitely a point I want to keep up here, as hopefully maybe we can reach double digits, but as 1 minute now gets closer, the Avies are not be able to score off this chance. So maybe we won't have a consistent 3 goals in 30 seconds. But the Aviators have a double commit and a mistouch there that will allow Privileged Pair to just get a wide open net.
Yeah, and that's actually a really, really good touch by Privileged Pair. That was so awkward, and it would have been hard for me to hit that ball. I can't imagine the shape that Privileged Pair was in to get that ball, but my goodness, really fantastic shot.
Yeah, great shot there by Privileged Pair. But I mean, just not sure miscommunication or if Kramen actually called it, that they just got the really bad mistouch there to throw it towards Privileged Pair. And I say that as the Hurricane mess up and give 1 goal right back to the Aviators.
Yeah, and it was a very good play by Kramen just to make sure that he's just focusing on the demo or the ball. And if Kramen actually hit the ball there, it would have still been in favor for Seoul. So Seoul was just ready for any shot that dropped in front of the net.
And another kickoff here after another goal from the Aviators here as Privileged Pair takes a shot. A great save there by Kramen. Almost led to a tie game, but not quite, as now Kramen's just booming it downfield. Privileged Pair's going to take his time with it here, but actually gets dunked by Kramen. Kramen manages to actually sneak it just under, but Squatchy was there for the save here. As now Privileged Pair, Squatch is going for the demo. He does almost get the demo, but not quite, as Privileged Pair was still not able to turn it around and get it on net anyway. But now Kramen's going to take it. Soul has to go up. It's a little awkward for him, but does hit it downfield to Privileged Pair, who has to just wait. Again, awkward. It's still awkward in front of the net. Not sure what to do with it. As Soul's just going to take it. Has the net. What a fake from Soul. I mean, Squatchy's ankles are broken.
Yeah, and that's just a very unfortunate start from Privileged Pair. And then Soul was just like, all right, I know you're going to rush for this ball, so I'm just going to stay here and wait for you to go buy the ball. And he did. Just, oh my goodness, fantastic shot by Soul.
And another cheat-up kickoff for the Aviators almost results in a goal again, but Squatchy was there for the save, as he's kind of known for on this Hurricanes team. The Privileged Pair throws it up, cannot quite get it, as Squatchy actually misses here. It's another open net for the Aviators. Can they capitalize? They cannot, as both Hurricanes defenders do finally get back. But actually, Privileged Pair throws it out to Soul, who takes a shot. It's just barely off, and Kramen does not follow up, knowing that they have a 2-goal lead. No need to get uber aggressive here in this game 5, as Soul now throws it. Oh, cannot quite get it off the corner. Not the bounce he wanted. Kramen now going to go for the solo play. Can't quite get down to Privileged Pair, who's going to take it by himself here. Tries to throw it center, but Soul does intercept it. Kramen out on the field. Nobody's there for it except for Privileged Pair, who's just going to hit it off to the ceiling. Soul's going to go for it. Does get a touch on it. Not a good touch, though, as it does allow Privileged Pair to throw it out again. and we're getting down to a minute 50 here left on the clock, and a great pass by the Hurricanes cannot quite open up the opportunity to score as it does get intercepted by the Aviators. But they need to score now if they want this game.
Yeah, and it's as Seoul almost actually just gets the ceiling shot. And yeah, it's just for the Hurricanes, it just seems like that there's too many people just covering the same situation as I actually almost went straight in.
Privileged pair had the dribble, had the open net, could not quite get around it to score that goal, and you gotta be scoring those if you're the Hurricane. Unfortunate there, as Seoul does boom it downfield. Now Squanchy gets a chance to miss, but Privileged Pair sends it right back down to him. Actually goes for it instead. It's in front of net. Squanchy wasn't quite there, was in the position, but just wasn't able to get to it soon enough. As now Seoul goes for it and gets the solo play to give the Aviators the 5-2 lead and the nail in the coffin, I would say.
Yeah, the Seoul going for the solo play. Actually just going straight in on that goal, and yeah, he's just making it look super easy.
Sir, I would like to point you to rules that this is a no pun zone. It's not allowed. As Craven's gonna take this down the field. A double commit there by the Hurricanes, but it does get it out of the zone here. But with 40 seconds left, they do need to score once again. They're gonna have an opportunity. Craven does get a great touch on it to the side before the Privileged Pair can get to it. As now Privileged Pair takes the shot. It's just barely off. Squanchy's got to go challenge this, but actually gonna back off, allow Craven to do his thing. Maybe he gets faked out again. He can't quite get faked out this time. Seoul takes the shot. It's just pushed off to the side from Privileged Pair, and we're near the end of this game, and it looks like it's going to be an Aviators win once again here, as they might take one for the road here. Seoul takes the shot, scores, 6 seconds left on the clock, and that's their 6th goal.
Yeah, Seoul just putting the dagger into this match, just getting another free one for the road. And yeah, 4-goal lead, 6 seconds, just doesn't look possible for the Hurricanes.
And if you're the Aviators, you're surely enjoying this win, as this is a huge win for the playoff hopes, and the Hurricanes will have to come back. And amazing play there by Craven. I mean, the flip reset, sorry, not even a flip reset, just a double touch. It's a very simple double touch to give up 7 goals. And the Aviators take game 5 and win the series 4-1.
Yeah, it was a very, very good play by Craven. But yeah, if you're the Hurricanes, when you get into the match for next week or whatever the next match happens to be for these two players, you just gotta think that playing it slow or playing it very safe is probably the #1 play that you want to do. But if we were to look at the stats, Seoul just outright getting like 5 out of the 7 goals. It's crazy to think about.
That's the MVP. That's the 3rd highest MVPR person for you. I mean, just a fantastic game from Seoul and Craven. Just absolutely dominant in this series here, as the Aviators do take the series 4-1 and do definitely increase their playoff chances here with that win. But be sure to stay tuned, because we have more Master League action coming up right for you. We have the Rhinos and the Pandas coming up for you right after this break.